Hello there, welcome to One on One. My name is Bridget Otu. My guest, Dr. Nyaho Nyaho Tamakloe, is an experienced politician. He was a founding member of the New Patriotic Party and also has had the privilege of helming the affairs of Ghana football. So currently, what is the state of Ghana football? We've qualified for Qatar 2022. Does that in any way mask the cracks within Ghana football? Also, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, delivered the state of the economy. And he said, well, he's doing a lot of digitalization because digitalization indeed has a bearing on the economy. Did he get it right? The friction between Bawumia and Alan Tremantin. What impact is that going to have on the NPP elections? Will it be bigger than the impact of Paul Afoko and Kwabena Japan, Nanado and Bawumia did have on the NPP prior to the 2016 elections? Stay with us for this thought-provoking conversation. Dr. Nyaho Nyaho Tamakloe, welcome to One on One.
Thank you.
All right, I want to start with a gentleman called lawyer Oliver Barker-Vomawo. He's one of the conveners for Fix the Country movement. He was held in police custody for 33 days. He said, he even went on a hunger strike because of how things were in the police cells. Now, yesterday he had a video, he did a monologue, and he's made mention about an important thing about how the youth are afraid to express themselves because of the environment we find ourselves in. I want to get your thoughts on this, first of all. Do you think that we are, as youth, as aggressive as we should be in demanding for change from our leaders?
Firstly, I recollect I heard of this gentleman and the steps that government was taking about him. And I sent a note, a verbal note, through an interview to Kandapa that they should be careful with him. Because such people, you don't handle them roughly. I even went further and advised Kandapa that he can call on Francis Popo, the former National Security Minister. He was a minister, just like Kandapa is. If he feels he has difficulties or certain cases are so difficult to handle. I didn't stop there. I called him. I know Kandapa very, very well. I called Kandapa to talk to him personally. Several times. He never lifted my call. So I'm not surprised that this young man went through what really he has gone through. And one thing they should not forget is that these sort of signals are always bad signals for a government. Okay. We've seen it before.
Okay. And he was charged with treason.
He was charged with treason.
Yes.
Now, such a young man definitely has got followers. There's no doubt about that. If they have followers, what a good government will do is to invite him and have a chat with him and know exactly what he wants. And a good intelligence officer will know how to handle him.
Okay.
It's happened before. When Jerry John Rawlings had the 15th May attempt and he failed, I had then just been released from prison as a detainee because myself and other 4 soldiers, we wanted to unseat Kutu Achampong. He was a general too. Jerry John Rawlings was tried at Birmingham. Now, before the trial, mind you, by then the head of state was late General F.W.K. Akufo. And then the head of military intelligence was called Colonel Ano Ojija, whom I know personally. Now, Ano Ojija advised government, listen to me carefully, that Rawlings should not be given what they call in the military an open trial. It must be a closed trial. And because the military, they do that. Government didn't listen to him. And he was given a platform. When he spoke and touched on the sensitive areas that will spark trouble, we all know what happened. Hence, June 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
So what approach should they use then? Because currently he's standing trial before the courts.
Well, my advice, and I think Kandapa has said that yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Right.
Look, I am not a small boy. So when I'm talking, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a professional medical officer. I'm a soldier. I've been in politics and football. I've been to detention on 2 occasions, not 1 year, 2 weeks. On both occasions, 2 years plus. That destroyed my family and everything. So when I'm talking, I know what I'm talking about. My advice to them is to set him free.
Okay.
If they did try that boy, what they have on their hands, they can never handle it. And I'm not surprised about the statement Kandaba came out with recently. That the perception, I'm not quoting him,
Sure.
is that judgments
Yeah.
are being given to the government
Okay.
more than it should be.
Okay.
That is even frightening.
Okay.
But Kandapa is right.
Okay. Well, so that conversation actually sits with the issue about how we vote our leaders and what we give them as leaders. I heard an expert say, we vote for our leaders, and they don't stay in the traffic like us. We give them V8, we fuel their vehicles for them, and they amass so much wealth. So should we change the way we're doing it? Is that even possible?
No. Democracy is a simple thing. You see, without the judiciary, we have no democracy. But it must be a judiciary that is really, really free. When 3 or 5 people were tried for treason, some of them were his own trusted ministers. His Minister of Foreign Affairs, Akwaji, another minister, Tayo Adamafiu. These were strong people. But yet, they were sent to be tried. And the then president of the Chief Justice was called Sir Akukosa. Listen to me carefully. And other people who were on the committee. They came out that they didn't find anything wrong with the people. It looked strange. Now, Kwame Nkrumah didn't accept that. He immediately sacked the Chief Justice. You see, the history is always repeating itself in this country, and leaders don't seem to see it. He sacked the Chief Justice, he sacked the other members of the committee. So distinguished people, Sir Akukosa, Justice Van Leer, others I can't remember now. You follow me? These were distinguished justices. When you see them, you have shivers on their back. He sacked them. Now, the perception with the ordinary person in the street is that there's no justice in this country. I'm being frank with you.
Right.
It's unfortunate Rollins have died. That there is no justice in this country. No, there are people, when they are even going to court, they fear. Because they know there's no justice. But when we get to the Supreme Court, where everybody knows that justice will be administered the way it should be, look at some of the results we have. 7-0, 9-0. I mean, you ask yourself, so there's no one particular person who has a different view on the subject that was handled. I mean, people are no fools.
But should it even take Kandapa? Because prior to that, former President John Mahama had said it when he met his party faithfuls in the U.S. about 9070, and they said, is he trying to say that, political judges? And I remember MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, did saying that there are political judges. And in fact, the Ghana Bar Association issued a statement that he was tainting the image of the Ghana Bar Association. So should it take Kandapa?
Yeah. Do you know why I'm not in government?
No.
I'm a suspended member of the New Patriotic Party.
The party you helped found it.
Myself and Dr. Charles Rekubobe.
Right.
And the reason is quite simple. Let me tell you today. I was very close with Akufo-Addo. Very, very. I took a lot of risks on his behalf.
Right.
He knows it. Because of Akufo-Addo, I deserted Kufuor. On principle, because after Kufuor was unable to unseat Rawlings democratically, we thought there should be somebody else. In fact, some of us had our minds on Kwame Pianim.
Oh, I know.
Another good leader.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because he wanted to unseat a military regime, even though he served over 10 years in prison, he was not allowed to contest an election as a leader. So some of us decided that, okay, Akufo-Addo was then vibrant. We thought he was very strong, he can speak to power. So we followed him. Now, we had an election in Sunyani where Akufo-Addo, and others I can't remember now, were the main contestants.
Right.
Kufuor won hands down. I was on the committee that was managing the affairs of Akufo-Addo, headed by Brigadier General Nunu Mensah.
Ah.
Yabsafo Maf was amongst them. We had a meeting in Akufo-Addo house every Tuesday. Plan strategy and how he can come. But eventually, he succeeded. He came to lead the party. Then we had another election. I'm talking about election for the party.
Yeah.
To pick party
leadership. Yeah.
We're talking about the chairman, the first and second vice chairman, and so on, and secretary. This time round, the election took place in Tamale. And that was the first time our tradition has done that. Since
I was there, I actually covered that election.
You covered it?
Yes, I did.
Now, before the elections, the contestants, one of them named Paul Afoko, I don't even know him.
Yeah.
But I read a little about him. I thought this is quite an interesting young man. Now, Afoko, all of a sudden, I noticed it was being attacked left, right, center. But what alarmed me was that a letter was sent to Scotland Yard in England.
From the party?
Yes. To find about Afoko criminal record. No, let them come and deny what I'm saying. And it turned out that the Scotland Yard wrote back that they have no criminal record about the boy. All with all these impediments, he won.
Yes, to be national.
So was Kwabena Ajepong,
secretary. Yes.
Who unfortunately weakened his stand, his political stand.
Because he's now dining.
Oh yes.
Yes, I get you.
And I said it. I said it on the NPP platform. That what he has done, he has ceased to be a leader.
Maybe he's hungry.
Well, just watch my words. Now, Kwabena Ajepong became the general secretary. Afoku, the national, what do you call it? Chair. And there was a young chap by the name Sammy Crab, second vice national chair. This boy came to office. Within a short time, we heard about rumors here and there. And what I could hear was that they have been suspended from the party. Till today, reasons given for their suspension, I personally don't believe it. I came out to condemn it. I was called by Joy from most of the radio stations. How do I say it? And I say, that is unconstitutional. We have a constitution. And if these guys have done anything wrong, the constitution is there to take charge of it. Then I got alarmed. I said, this shouldn't happen under Akufo-Addo. Person I have known as a Democrat, a human rights lawyer, and a defender of freedom. I had an attack. Left, right, center.
Verbal.
Both verbal and, you know.
Wow.
People even made an attempt of coming into my house. But let them try it. Those who even attacked me was Otiko Jaba.
She's no longer.
Where is she now?
Yes, issues with the party.
And it was through me that Otiko Jaba got on the political platform of NPP. This man is not dead. The man in charge of state transport, what's his name? Nana something.
Amor Kwante. Is that Amor?
No. Nana Akumia.
Oh,
he's alive.
STC.
You can ask him.
Nana Akumia.
I call Akumia. Otiko was worrying me. We had a huge meeting at the Presbyterian, Osu Presbyterian Church Hall.
Right.
The facts are there. Then after the meeting, Otiko came to me and he said she's not being allowed to come. Well, she's a good speaker.
Yes.
So I called Akumia to try her. Then later, she came to attack me for defending democracy. Do you understand me?
Yes.
You see the way she's ended? Good. That is politics. You follow me?
Yes.
Now, let's come back to the main issue you were talking about.
Why you were?
My advice to government is that that boy should be left free.
No, I wanted to know why you were suspended from the party. You were on that.
Why I was suspended?
Yes, you said.
Oh, it was a simple thing. I know what happens there.
Right.
There was a national meeting, party top hierarchy.
Right.
And then the question came that I should be suspended too. Now those are the top were not able to come to a decision. Then a gentleman who was then, I learned recently he has passed on, called Ashite.
Oh, Justice Niyama. Yeah.
Ashite, I think he was a junior minister.
Yeah.
Greater Accra. Then later he became Greater Accra and
yeah.
He boasted that he can sack me. He can write the letter to me. When they wrote the letter, nobody could sign it.
Wow.
So he signed the letter. And the reason is that they say, of recent I have been making statements that are not in conformity with the party principles. I didn't bother about it. I am still MPP, and I can assure them that we are going to reconstruct that party.
Okay. Why do you think Nana Addo changed so much? What changed in him? What do you think changed in him?
See, at times I sit down and ask myself, is this the same Nana Addo I know? Because I can't believe it.
So what changed in him?
Look,
what do you think changed? What changed him?
What changed him is those who surrounded him. Because, you see, if I want to talk, I will talk a lot.
Right.
I can tell Nana Addo that he's going the wrong way. There's no one around him now who can tell him that. I know what I'm telling you.
Okay.
There are people who come to see me before I left the party. That Nana Addo, talk to Nana Addo about it. And I do talk to him. And he mends his way. I mean, how can you have a situation where the person that you have trusted and believe has certain principles, all of a sudden becomes a different person?
Okay.
No, virtually this country in which we are now, to me, it looks like a police state.
Police state?
I'm
Why?
telling you.
When you say police state,
Police
state, that's bordering on
yes, let me give you the reason.
authoritarianism.
Let me give you the reason. I was in Johannesburg when I heard of a shooting going on somewhere in one of the constituencies.
Was it before the 2020 elections? Is that around that time?
Oh yeah,
Ayawaso. Okay, that's fine. Ayawaso West Wall.
And I was shocked.
Right.
But I wasn't surprised. Because when we won power, that is when Nana Addo came to power.
2016.
Before, immediately after that, militias were put in place. I don't even know how they term them, but they are militias. Well, they were armed. Some
Invisible forces.
Were trained for 1 week, 2 weeks. These are facts. And I got worried. I got worried because at a certain stage, you cannot control them. I mean, who can advise Nana Addo? Nana Addo, the Democrat, to go that way? I find it difficult to understand.
Wow.
Now, everybody in this country is afraid to talk. I'm telling you.
Is that why he's tone deaf about his travel, luxurious travel? Given that we're in such, dire circumstances, everyone is supposed to tighten their belts, but the government is loosening its belts.
Once again, I tell you, those who are around him, and how Nana Addo can give in to them, I can't understand. Because it wasn't like that. When we were kids or we were young men, Nana Addo was very simple person. Approachable. He dressed very simple. He was fond of wearing jeans. And I remember when I was an ambassador in Serbia.
Yeah, Montenegro.
I covered areas like Bulgaria, Romania, and all. These were all under my jurisdiction. Right. And Addo came on a visit. I received him. We are friends. The pictures are there. I have got the pictures. Then we sat down together. In his, the Bulgarians gave him a huge mansion to stay in there. So I was with him there together. And we were chatting. And I said, Adodi, no man, I call Adodi. I said, Adodi, I think you should get yourself prepared for leadership. He was then a foreign minister.
Sure.
Let's go now. It won't be that easy as it was a problem. You are the next in line. I told him. He's there. You can tell him. They said, well. But then they were preparing to have the Congress. They said, oh. Kofi Diewo. Once Kofi Diewo is Kufo. He said, Kofi Dewo has brought somebody. See, you people should know these things.
Yeah.
That's why I say that.
Yeah.
You know, what I say, let them come out and deny it.
Right.
So I said, how? I said, who is Kofi Dewo bringing? Then he mentioned Alan Tremantin. That's why I know Alan. They were in what we call the Young Executive Club himself and others. I don't think he's up to the tax now. He said, well, I was really furious. I'm being frank with you. So immediately I called to find out whether that is true, and it was confirmed that the young man by name Alan Tremante is going to contest Nanado. They had I think the Congress started on the Friday and the Saturday, they ended on the Sunday. Luckily, I had a leave, so I flew in on the Friday, came to Accra. Then Saturday, the Congress started. I didn't go there at all. Sunday, I went to church at the Osu Ebenezer Presbyterian Church. That's my mother church.
Right.
After that, I had an invitation for a breakfast by the then Minister of National Security.
Okay.
Francis Poku.
Right.
You see, these are facts, so I can't.
Sure.
If I keep them, I'm not doing justice to the younger ones coming.
Sure.
Well, they had to learn from this.
Sure.
So we had a beautiful breakfast. Then we were there. Of course, Francis, as a national security, was being briefed what is happening at Legon. You know.
Right.
Then later I told him, oh, your friend has won. I said, won? That's good. Now, he said he has won with a question mark. I said, why? And they say, oh, Chairman Tin has been talked to and he has decided to step down. I said, that's good. And I told you, I was then in suit. These days I hardly wear suit. I was in the suit. I got put a suit well.
Right.
I was in the suit and I told Francis that I would like to go there and say hello to him. Well, we heard the noise.
To Chairman Ting or Nana?
Yeah. No, when Nana
won.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Right,
won. Well, Chairman Ting have to step down
sure.
for him.
I get you.
Francis told me, when you go, let your friend know that he's not a tribal leader. Listen to me carefully. He's now a national leader. And now, you can see that a man with experience knows exactly what he talks about.
Doctor, I would want to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation and also look at the Alan Tremantin now. And there's a camp, Alan Tremantin camp and then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia camp. Back then, Dr. Nyaho Nyaho Tamakloe said he wasn't up to the task. Is he up to the task now? And he's the best man to lead the NPP in the 2024 elections. We'll be right back. Welcome back to One on One. Doctor, I'm particularly interested in what's happening now. For some, it mirrors, the Kwabene Japan, Paul Afuko era, where there's a lot of friction, and we've seen very ugly scenes where Tremantin camp and Dr. Bawumia camp have met somewhere, they had quite an unfortunate fisticuffs went up, and some think that there's something brewing. What do you make of the two candidates, first of all, and who is best to lead your party?
When Nanado was unable to defeat late Tata Mills, that was, I think, the election was on 208.
Yes.
I've forgotten exactly.
Yes.
Now, 209, January, I think 2nd. Normally, we visit or we go to Nanado's place.
Sure.
I was there with others. Other
Right.
members were there. Not the large people.
Sure.
Though. Then he called me aside and said, Nyaho, some people don't want Bawumia to go with me again. I said, how? Listen to me carefully.
When he was trying for the third time?
For the second time.
Second time, okay, all right.
There are people in the party who don't want Bawumia to go with him again. I said, how? He was very specific. But I'll be quiet on the type of people who were talking. So he said, I want you to handle Bawumia. He's not known in the party, that is true. So Bawumia, any question about Bawumia was thrown to me. We handled it carefully, slowly, getting into the party. We traveled with him. There was a time myself, Akufo-Addo, Bawumia himself, and other members of the party I can't remember now. We went to Wale Wale, his hometown. From there we went to Bembela. Met a large group of people. Then once again, myself, late Aliu Mahama, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Gentleman's gentleman. And Bawumia. Bawumia is there, you can ask him if I'm telling lies. We used to meet at Aliu's private house at African Village or wherever they call it. And strategize for Bawumia. So I know Bawumia very well. He comes to me in this house.
Okay. Still does?
The last time I saw him, was at the funeral of Mrs. Obeche Belamti, the old lady, not to Tanka's mother.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I was seated, as I was on the 5th pew.
Okay.
And then a former MP from Osuklote, who knows me very well. I'll get the name and mention it.
Right.
He sat by my side. We were chatting. Now, the party leadership was there. The government leadership was there. By then, Nanado was not in town. He has gone to Britain.
Okay.
So Bawumia represented him. Nanado's wife was there.
Right.
The speaker, Okwe, was there. President Kufuor was there. It was a huge gathering of party top leaders. Then I told the gentleman that the priest announced that Bawumia will have to leave us because he got other things, which normally is done.
Yeah.
Then I told the gentleman sitting next to me, who was a former MP for Suklote.
Okay.
I'll get the name soon.
Right.
He should watch something. If Bawumia sees me, he will come to me. Lo and behold,
He did.
he was coming with his bodyguards. He saw me and he came straight to me and greeted me. And I asked him how he is, and he said he's fine. That is good. Now, if we want to talk about people who know our party, if we are going to set a leader based on that, there will be a problem. Because the present national chairman of our party, to me, is an alien to the party. Oh yes. I've said this time and again, I want him to come out. And if that party has been destroyed, it was through him. Any sincere person in NPPP will agree with what I'm saying. There is a corrupt person and a liar. When he was campaigning, he promised numerous buses that he will bring to the country. Where are they now? You know, such people, you don't give them power. That's why I say Akufo-Addo has changed in a way I don't understand. But I believe strongly he should have recognized some people. Blay is his name. He was a CPP
Freddie.
man.
Yes, Freddie.
I was very close to late General Eskin. Very, very close. In fact, I wrote a tribute to the book is there when he died. Look, I went to Eskin one time. I said, Nyaho, how on earth would you people make Blay your national chairman? I'm saying it, because happen. And I said, sir, it surprises me too. Blay has been the destructive element of MPP today.
How?
And if
How
we are
does
not
he do it?
careful and managing properly, the party will be split into two. Or it will be destroyed totally.
Okay. And it wouldn't be Alan or Baumia?
Now, in Alan's case,
Yes.
if Alan will work on merit, he may have the sympathy of some people. But I don't find him to be that strong. Neither is Baumia strong.
Okay.
Listen to me carefully. Alan, I expected to have resigned on principle some time ago.
Right.
And believe me, if he has done that, I, Nyaho, will follow him to any place. But he didn't have the courage. If Alan has done that, he would have paved a way for his political future. And why do I say that? There are a lot of infractions. He knows it. Alan knows it. I would have taken the opportunity and resigned. So the question is, why didn't he resign?
Yeah, why do you think he didn't?
What? How can I know?
You know me, you know.
Yeah,
him,
that's
you
what
know
the
them.
infraction. You see, I saw Alan as a principled person. And people who are principled, they just take their pen and
Because their
resign.
integrity is on the line.
Absolutely. Your integrity is on the line. And if you want to be a leader, that is the key point. You know, in fact, I lamented it. I even told some people about it. You follow me?
But looks like they are the two that we have. Between the two.
You see?
Looks like they're the two clear leaders.
They are not the two clear.
They are not. Who are
Oh,
they?
there are others, I'm unsure. You see, other names have been mentioned. Some of them definitely they won't get anywhere. But they should come and try. You follow me?
Yes.
For instance, I can't see how Boache will have the courage
To come back.
and say he wants to be
come
president of this country. When up till now, we don't know why he was sacked.
Right.
He should come and answer that question first. Why he left office. Maybe if he has done that.
I'll
some
try
of us are
and book
respected.
him. Watch it up. I'll try and book and ask him.
Then you talk about who also wants to come. Who?
Akotoifi, Dr. Akotoifi.
Oh,
Agreg.
I went to Keta at the weekend. And I saw his poster. Huge poster.
I'm
by
sorry
the
that I'm
roadside. And I said, oh, Akoto said, you want to be president of Ghana? That's interesting. I'm sure the poster, if you send somebody now, they'll see the brother at the roadside. I think just before you get to Angloga, you'll see it there. Akoto said, as the Minister of Agric, if he can tell us, convince us that he has succeeded in that ministry, then we'll look at him again. Millions of dollars were pushed into the so-called planting food and jobs. Go to the market now and look at the prices of things. That's why I keep on saying that we have not got the right person yet.
Okay.
And my worry is that the young people coming in our party,
Right.
are more concerned about money.
But why do you think that is? Because your generation seems to not care so much about money, amassing wealth. Currently, the Auditor General's Department, for instance, politicians are unable to declare their assets.
Exactly.
It's so secretive. Why do you think that is?
That tells you exactly the type of politics that we do in this country. Now, let me give you, the party has not been like that. There have been people with integrity in that party before. If I tell you that J.H. Mensah never owned a property, will you believe it?
Wow.
Look, J.H. Mensah, the wife, I know very well, was a mate of my sister. When J was in exile, and I was in London, I visited J several times. Right. Indeed, when he was coming to Ghana, after the Americans, I think, have arranged with Rollins that he can come down.
Right.
I was with him at the airport. I called Audrey Sykes. He's not dead, he's there. That they should arrange people to meet him. And he was met with drumming and whatnot. Some of the people are alive. J.H. Mensah. He came, he did well as a minister.
Yeah.
A man with integrity. He never owned a property. Indeed, in his last days, he stayed somewhere in East Legon. I know the house, I can take you there. Without a house. I was in this house when the wife came to me. But the wife was then living in London. The wife came to me in this house. I said, Nyaho, talk to your friend. We want to come back home. She was there in London. She used to be called, I think she used to be called Williams in those days.
Okay.
But she was then, her first name is Tina. Okay. Tina Mensah. Then she said, talk to your friend. He has no house. And when J.H. was a top notch in this country, I was a little boy. So I said, okay, I'll talk to J.H. But I sat down and said, have I got that capacity to address such an elderly person? That is what the wife told me. And my own conscience told me no. But I can swear that as far as I am concerned, J.H. Mensah never had. Unfortunately, the wife died before J.H. He's got children, they can testify. I'm telling lies. Another person, Aram Ponza. He was hiring houses.
In the rented apartment?
Yes. Another person, William Foriata. If there's anybody who knows his property, the person should come and tell me. These were selfless people. BJ Darocha, selfless people. Why can't it happen now?
Why can't it happen now? That's the question.
Why can't it happen now? That even the young ones, I know of cases, I've been told of several cases, young people building left, right, center. But let me warn you, if someone can come on the platform, be the person from MPP or any political tradition, and promise me or promise the nation that when it comes to power, all this mass, or all this,
amassing of wealth
will be seized to the state, I will follow the person. But most of the houses that you see around now belong to them.
But it's also because we're not investigating them, we're not prosecuting them,
No, but we are
and so they
saying
get away
we are
with
saying
it.
that
Yes.
even auditors general report is not respected.
Yeah.
How did the auditor general ended?
He was removed for
You follow me?
Yes.
You see, and these are things we have intellectuals in this country, formerly Legon.
Right.
And when we were kids, Legon was a feared place. When you had critics.
Is Dr. Baumia living in a bubble when he talks about, the economy and we're doing great? He had a lecture where, he delivered a lecture to talk about the state of the economy, and he says, oh yeah, in our first 3 years, growth of the economy, doubled, but for COVID, is he living in a bubble?
Look, let me tell you, once again, a mistake Baumia made. And that really hurt me a lot. I said, this gentleman has no advisor. Look, the economy is the economy of the state. That was what he wanted to tell us. First and foremost, it shouldn't have been a partisan affair. So those who organized it completely wanted to destroy Baumia. How would you have advised him? State of the economy, you address the nation, and it should be a non-partisan affair. But you are addressing the nation. It should be a non-partisan affair. And invite people from all sectors. You don't pack. You see what they did to me was an old communist tactics. Which even now the communists themselves, they don't use it. They stop using it. All communist tactics. Cheering, hey, hey, hey. Like Adolf Hitler also did. You follow me?
Yeah.
And this is pathetic. And this happened under Nanado. That is a question I ask myself every day.
And it's happening.
And it's happening. You follow me?
Yeah.
Now, Baumia, in his address also, totally evade the e-levy.
Yes.
It's amazing. Once again, advices. But that is the biggest issue facing the people of this country. The ordinary man in the street is worried about that. And as I keep on saying, if their intelligence really tells them well what is happening in the country, that e-levy, if they are not careful, will create a problem for them.
Wow. Doctor, before we wrap up, I'm particularly interested in getting your thoughts on Ghana football. You have had the privilege of leading it, and Speaker of Parliament, recently mentioned that the way Ghanaians handled Kwesi Nyantakyi rather put a dent in Ghana's image abroad, and there were quite a number of who were unhappy because they thought that this was somebody who was smeared in corrupt act and was removed. How can you speak? Did the speaker misspeak?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Kwesi has worked under me before.
Right.
I keep on saying, he's a hard-working child. Himself and one Fred Papu. That gentleman, they call him investigator. What's his name?
Anas Arimio.
That Anas,
yes.
whatever the name is. I have said time again that I don't respect his findings.
Why?
You want to know?
Yes.
I will tell you. Now, in investigative journalism, the idea is to spring a surprise. Now, if you have been able to gather your information and certain names have been mentioned, you don't disclose it, you don't show the film to the people. In that particular program, the president's name was mentioned.
Yeah.
Who also? The vice name was mentioned, and other people. Before the whole film was shown to the general public, I believe strongly the general public should be the first to see the contents of that film.
Okay.
You should hold it to your chest. But that's why you are an investigative journalist. Now, the moment those at the top of affairs hears of them, and their names are mentioned, they will take measures to clean themselves. And that is what happened.
Okay.
Now,
so in other words, there should have been more people held accountable. There were certain names taken out because they had prior knowledge of it.
exactly. The films were shown to them first. And it's so sad. You see, but that's why I get confused about the democracy we are practicing. I get confused. A lot of people believed in that gentleman, that he was doing a clean job. But to me, no. Because I have been following him carefully too.
Right.
Why do you disclose your findings before the general public gets to know about it? So those who were affected were able to cleanse themselves. And then, unfortunately, because Kwesi Nyantakyi is defenseless, because everybody left him in the lurch, he faced the problem. But I can tell you that it was planned by his detractors.
So whether it was planned, or as some say he was trapped.
Yeah.
If you're a person of integrity, regardless of the circumstances, you will not be.
Listen.
Be caught.
If you even look at the monies involved,
right?
They are peanuts. You follow me?
Right.
They are really peanuts. Unless Kwesi himself is not particular, or was not particular about certain things. When they set up a trap, you should be able to know it. You follow me? Because the boy was climbing gradually, and I am telling you, but for that problem, he would have been the first African to hurt FIFA. I'm telling you. So what the speaker said is true.
Okay. We have qualified for Qatar on a limp. Nobody, expected that we would probably, draw in Nigeria in front of 60,000 fans, but we did draw, and per their away goal rules, we go through. GFA currently seems to have like a power sharing situation with the Black Star coaching team. I mean, with Chris Hughting, technical advisor, there's Otuado, who says he currently doesn't even know his own future, whether he wants to continue or not. What do you make of the system?
He doesn't know his own future. We
asked him whether he's staying. He says he doesn't know what the decision would be. He can't say anything about it. Yeah. What do you make of the arrangements we have, and if it's worked, should they continue, or we're also hearing that Chris Hughting could take over from Otuado? What do you make of the arrangement?
I made a statement about that. The three gentlemen.
Yes.
Otuado, Chris Hughting,
okay,
and then there was a third person who also came from Britain.
George Boateng. Yes, Boateng. And
then there was a local chap here.
Right.
I've forgotten the name. I think he was a goalkeeper.
Right. Is it Kingston?
No, not Kingston.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I think I know to coach that, but I've forgotten his name. Yeah, it's escaped.
Now, I said, listen to me carefully.
Is it Didi Dramani?
Didi Dramani, okay. That's the name.
Okay.
I said that the state in which I found the team then, we need somebody who stays in this country with first. That was for that short period.
Right.
We need
to get through the qualification, you mean?
Absolutely.
Okay, right.
Who is strong and can really handle the boys and perform well. And I remember I mentioned the name of the present Kotoko coach. People didn't understand me.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yes.
They, you Haswell boss, how do you promote Kotoko coach? But I found something in the man.
Right.
He has changed the style of Kotoko. Kotoko is more aggressive. They are hungry for goals. Very fast, energetic. That is modern football.
Right.
anytime they have a ball in the opponent's 18, you see about 5, 6 players there, because anybody can score. If you don't have good defense, they will score you.
Right.
So I mentioned that I would have preferred that man to be given that opportunity for that short period. Now, Otto Addo, I don't know him. At that time, somebody said, in fact, Jaola disagree with me. The Jaola is my cousin, so you disagree with me, I agree. Now, that my point was that Otto Addo was amongst the first group who were to train these boys.
Right. He
never took part in anything. So that tells you he has no time for the boys. You follow me? Okay. The other gentleman whose name you mentioned, the white guy.
Chris Houghton.
Chris Houghton, he doesn't stay here with us. And I said, if in future we have really qualified and we want him, I have no problem with that. Right. The other one, Boatin too, is not known to us. But there's one mistake we have been making all the time in football. We didn't start football today in this country. As of folk, it's over 100 years. It's supposed to be the oldest club in this country, but we didn't start today. Now, if you watch carefully, all competitions that Ghana has won, especially African Cup of Nations, we won it twice in Nkrumah's time. The reason is quite simple. Nkrumah invested a lot of money into it and made sure he even hired foreign coaches. I think one was from Sweden and the other one came somewhere from Hungary in those days. And he had the results. After Nkrumah, the next person to get us a cup was Kutu Achambo. Kutu was minister. He was, even though he was head of state, he was minister responsible for sports. So you see where the interest is again?
Yeah.
He put in a lot. And I remember when we won that cup, he sent a helicopter from Burma camp to come and pick the place to his residence at Burma camp. That was the third win. The fourth and the final one so far was on our Rollins. But he didn't do the job. Let's be very straight. That build-up was done in the man's administration.
Right.
I mean, what is right, you should say it.
Right.
So to me, that credit should go to Liman. Because when we were even ready to go for that particular competition, Ghana had no money to airlift the boys. There was no money. Gaddafi sent in an aircraft.
Yeah, I know of that story.
There. And the Libyans were shocked that we defeated them. You follow me? So please, what I will say is that whoever is appointed, or those the FA are going to make sure they are appointed what we call a technical team. They must be people who are really interested in what they are doing.
Right.
They must be people with integrity. And they must be people who are strong. Because it's not easy to handle footballers.
Okay. And Doc, I have actually wrapped up, but I want you in 30 seconds. Is Curtis walking in your shoes now? Is he doing well? Can you describe him in 30 seconds?
Well, I have not really studied him much, but I will advise him to do less talking.
Okay.
And rather
show us
a lot of work.
Okay. Dr. Nyaho Nyaho Tamakloe, I want to say a very big thank you for honoring our invitation on One. It's been a pleasure and a learning curve for me sitting before you. So thank you so much for
I'm
coming.
so glad also and privileged that I've met you. In fact, you are the second lady. The first one was Gifty Apia.
Ando, right.
We had an extensive interview today.
Right.
And I'm glad.
I'm happy.
I'm very happy.
I'm happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.